Hello, and we are back with another video for professional selling. I think this one's going to go on my YouTube as well, just because I can. So we are supposed to be demonstrating a product or talking about product demonstration. So we're going to take a little bit more unique approach to this assignment, and rather than demonstrating a product, we're going to talk about how to demonstrate a product online. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Let me pull up some reference material here. That's important to note. We're going to come back to that in a second. So your first rule of thumb is, while you're talking about the product, unless you have something else to talk about too, or unless people are already interested in what you're saying, don't exceed 3 minutes, because generally people don't care about you. When they're watching the video, when they are online looking at a product that you're selling, they're not there to listen to you, they're there to look at the product. Until you're on the level of like a Casey Neistat or something like that, like where you have some real leverage in your field and you have that authority, nobody wants to hear what you're saying. They just want to hear about the product. Number 2, focus on functionality over features. You need to know the difference between a feature and a function. So this microphone, for example, a feature would be it's all black metal construction because it looks really neat. But the problem is there are a lot of microphones that have all black metal constructions, and in the end, the way it's shaped and the way it looks is going to come down to personal preference. But when you talk about a feature, you can say, well, this is made of aircraft grade aluminum and the mesh here is double lined, so it has a big heavy screen to protect from getting smashed and poked or whatever, and then it has a lighter mesh inside to keep dust and larger particles from getting into the microphone and ruining it. That would be a function. So you need to know those differences. Make sure you focus on what's unique about that product. So you need to figure out what's unique about the thing you're using. So for example, I'm using the Audio-Technica AT2020. And one thing that's unique about this microphone is I can invert it. I can change the direction that the microphone sits. Because you get some other microphones, you can't turn it upside down. Because originally when I got this, it was pointing in the other direction. It was pointing up and I couldn't hang it over my monitor. But other microphones like Yetis and stuff, they don't necessarily hang over as well or as easily because they have proprietary screws. You need to buy different hardware so that way you can mount it and boom it to where you want it. So our next point we're going to talk about, don't read from a script. Do not read from a script. And this is important to note that I'm still using reference material when I am presenting this. So I think I'm using a sticky note right now. It's pulled up, it has a bunch of bullets on it, and that's what I want to talk about. But at the same time, I'm not reading from a script. It's not robotic, it doesn't, like, you're trying to make it flow, you're trying to make it come out nice and neat and cool. And it's not necessarily working because not everybody's perfect, but it's better than sitting here and reading like, know the difference between a feature and a function, what it does. Feature is a tool that helps the product accomplish its task, and it doesn't sound as nice. It doesn't sound as natural. It doesn't sound as clean. So you need to make sure that you can improvise like that. You can take a bullet, you can look at it, and then you can come back to your audience and you can say, hey, this is what's going on, and you don't have to sit there and stare at a script. Now, sometimes scripts are handy. It's helpful to have stuff to look at, stuff to read from, but at the same time, don't rely on that. So I hope these tips were helpful, and yeah, that's about all I got. So thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. High five, y'all. See ya.